Yeah, what is good today? We have a deeper look on Zero. We go over her best teams, best marks, and why she is so strong. A like and a follow would be highly appreciated, but is not needed. So let's stop yapping and just go right into it. So why is Zero so strong? First, you will get her on max duped P6, and some of those dupes are really good. Yeah, increase all member attack by 10%, really good, and also a damage buff and like more buffs. But just in case you don't know, like Beacon has an event where you get her for free, and her signature weapon that is also pretty good. Also, it gives her some pierce. And now we go over her skills. Skill 1 and all that is not that big of a deal right now. You will see it when we go over her gameplay. What makes her so strong is her skill 2, because she will increase all team members' attack for 20 seconds. And on her talent 4, you will also get a critical damage buff by 20%. And you know, the attack buff is pretty heavy. On level 11, we're talking about 37% more attack. And obviously, you can level it up more, but that's pretty fucking strong. We're looking at 20% crit damage and also 37 attack buff. That's the reason why she's considered one of the best supports in the game. You can also play her with every character in the game, since an attack buff and also a crit damage buff is needed for every DPS character, so she is really flexible. Talent 1 is just a boost for her skill 1, Falling Feather. Yeah, it's alright, but you know, she is a buffer, so she will not do that much damage. Talent 2 is just a 10% damage resistance buff for 20 seconds after you use her ult. Talent 4 is just her crit damage buff, and Talent 5 is just some attack. For skill leveling, you want to prioritize skill 2, then her passive, then skill 1, and combo and basic tech you don't really need, since only thing that really matters on her kit is her attack buff. So just make sure if you want to use her, you should need to level her skill 2 to get a bigger attack boost. For her marks, I play her right now with Dragon Essence, River of Oblivion, and with the Tower one. The Tower one is not that great. You can also play the supporting one that will give your team an attack buff. You should play it on her for sure if your third character don't have it. But let's say you play her with Florence and Hep. You can also play Outstanding Herbalist on Hep. Or you want to play a different team where, you know, maybe Ninja's on the field. You can also play it on her. But just keep in mind, if no one in your team have Outstanding Herbalist, you should absolutely play it on her. So we're looking at Herbalist. You should absolutely play it on her, or like your third unit in the team doesn't have it. Then you also should play River of Oblivion. Why? Because she will get an increase in anomaly damage. And when you look at her skills, her passive is about inflicts a huge amount of light anomaly, so you would boost that passive damage. It is worth, in my opinion, so you can play it on her. So if you play River, you will boost her anomaly damage, and that will infect your damage on her. But you absolutely don't need to if you don't want. I think it's even recommended here. Yeah, it is. For stats, you can already see here, you want attack and light damage. I'm not sure about the elemental one. I wouldn't say she needs it. Since you play her with Hep a lot, you know, the Florence, Zero, and Hep team, Hep already needs a lot of anomaly stats, so she doesn't need to, or it's just gonna be a waste. So you can also run crit rate on her, or like pierce, crit damage, you know, just your basic attack stats you want to have for DPS character. Obviously, you want to have some light damage on her. Technically, you can also build Shining Star on her because it will increase her ultimate skill charge, and on her talent 1, I think. Oh no, it was 2. You will give your allies a 10% damage resistance. So you could also play Shining Star on her. How good it is, I'm not sure, but you could play it on her since 10% damage resistance is pretty good. And when you stack your damage resistance buff with Habs buff, we're gonna look at some pretty good percentage there. So you could also play Shining Star. So last words on her marks, just see that you have outstanding Herbalist on 0 or on your third character, and then you should want to have River of Oblivation that will give you a 6% increase in anomaly damage, what is pretty good for her passive. And yeah, for subsets, you want obviously light damage, attack, and basic stuff like crit damage, crit rate. I would personally say crit rate because she also buffs crit damage. For Zero's best team, it's obviously Florence, Zero, and Hep. That is the best team for her, but how I said earlier, you will or you can absolutely play her with every DPS in the game, since her buffs are just generally good for every DPS in the game. But with Florence, Hep, and her, that is her best team right now. So for her gameplay, she is pretty simple and easy to play. You just want to press Q, and then you have another Q that you should press, and you can swap out of it. Hold on, let me show you. It will still do it, and then you want to press E, and again E, and you will get the crit damage and your attack buff. Yeah, and that's like the main thing to her. Yeah, she does, pretty okay damage when we're looking at that. And you see her spitting blades there, like the blades from heaven. That's why you would need, or why you should want to play anomaly damage boost, because that's her passive. Yeah, so that's all to her actually. And that's her damage resistance buff when you ult. And then you will have her buff too. We're already at the end of the video. Zero isn't that of a complex character to play. If I missed something or forgot something, please let me know in the comments. And then I would say, have a great day. See you guys in the next one.